video, we're going to review simply moving and just copying things between folders. All right, so in this case, I have this files folder here, and we'll look at the ability to moving and also copying. So here I have some files that are supposed to be inside this IT documents folder, but right now, they're outside of it. So if I want to add them, if I'm an admin, otherwise you have to start looking at permissions and all that sort of thing. And that's something, regardless if you're an admin or not, is to keep in mind. And that's items or folders with different permissions when moving items. So in this case, I'm just going to drag this. That's all I'm doing here. If I'm holding down the left mouse button and I'm dragging it to the folder I want, and that's how simple it is to move this under the folder. Okay, and the reason just for that is that it just makes it easier for moving something. So in this case, if I want to copy all those files, I can just copy this folder. So I can right click and say copy. So now everything's under the IT's documents folder. I can just go back to the folder I want, and let's just say I want this each user here folder name, be it a client or project documents folder, whatever it be. I can just click on it, and then I can just right click or go to tools. Each one will give me the same options, and what I want is right click, tools, and paste. Okay, if I want to do a move, that will actually move the item, but in this case I can't because I did say I wanted to copy. But had I wanted to actually move it, I would simply cut it. But in this case, I want to copy it because I want Bill to have the folder and I want John to have the folder. So I just click on the folder and I say paste again. If it was a move, I could have done as simple as just dragging it to the other folder. Okay, in this case, though, I don't want to do that. And if you did want to do it without the folder, so let's say you just wanted 3 files, then that's when you can do the same thing, just copy and paste or cut and paste, depending if you want the move or the copy. And the difference also is when you're doing a copy, it creates a copy of everything in there. So in this case, a copy of the IT's documents folder, but every child of it, something contained within it, got copied as well, but it all gets created new. Okay, so if I were to look at the created date for those, they would be different from the original. And if I had done a move, that's different because the move would have kept the original and it just would have moved the location of it. All right, and move, which there's an article at the end of a link to this that goes into more detail about moving things with different permissions, can run into issues because it's going to warn you that, hey, the permissions are different to the folder you moved it to, because moving does not change the permissions automatically. You as a system admin can go in and change those properties if needed to. Otherwise, like I said, it's going to warn you. And the reason for that, because it's an existing item, it doesn't just automatically change the permissions. Whereas copy, it's a brand new item. It just inherits the permissions of the folder you're putting it inside of. But basically, that's all I need to do is just move things around there. So I can do the cut paste. And the last example will be if I wanted to just take 2 items here under the IT documents folder and copy it to a different folder. I could just right click and say add to clipboard. But before adding to clipboard, you can see when I've hover over this, it shows I already have something there. It's always a good idea to clear the clipboard, because if you have a project on your clipboard as you're adding the files and you go to paste things, you could accidentally do a copy of a project in the wrong location, and then you end up with like 2 or 3 projects with the same name but in different locations. And that's one thing to keep in mind as well, that in Project Insight, you can have multiple items with the same name because the unique identifier is the ID of the item. So you can see just in my URL up here above, the folder is called testing folder for tickets, but this is really what makes it identify different from any other, is this ID up here. So I could have another folder with the exact same name. The 2 would be unique because that ID number would be different. So in this case, once again, I want to make sure my clipboard is clear. So I say clear clipboard, and I right click again. Now you can see nothing's in my clipboard. So I can say add to clipboard, the 6-hour worker report, and let's just say I want this property definition. And I say add to clipboard. So now I have 2 items, and I can go to the folder that I want. Let's just say I wanted it under Bill and not under IT documents. Once again, I can hover over this, or as if you prefer, you can right click. And careful with the right click. If you do it down here, it's different from if I'm over here. So I just want to right click here and say Tools, View Clipboard is what I can click on, and see now it gives me an option if I had a lot of files here, if I want to do all files copied over or only specific ones. So in the case you forgot to clear your clipboard, make sure you scroll down to make sure there's nothing there that shouldn't be there. But then I can just simply select all and uncheck. Maybe if I had a project there, uncheck it, and then I'm done. But what's always great to do though, if I'm done copying this stuff, and if I'm moving it, whatever it be the case, I can just say clear selected items from clipboard when I'm done with my action. So what am I doing? Am I doing a cut and paste? No, I'm doing a copy. So I'm just going to copy those, and it's going to copy it for me, and I'm done. And you can see it's just letting me know I'm doing multiple items to copy. Just want to confirm, basically it's confirmation. Are you sure you want to copy this? So once again, if you have a project by accident, not only do you get the chance to not select that the first time, and the confirmation, you have a second chance not to copy over something that you unintentionally do not want. So always review that and confirm, hit OK, and then you're done. Okay. So all right. So thank you for your time and have a great day.